Who is this super YouTuber? Is it Paul, the Joy Toy Collector? Andy, the Newcastle United fan? Jamie, the Gobot hater? Alexis, the salesman? Rohan, the man with the plan and the Wall of Fame? Might just be Rohan's Corner, Super Transformers guy. Rohan's Corner, poking Hasbro in the eye. Oh, he's so fly, a groovy guy with a beard that just won't stop. When the bots get rough, he's super tough as third party cleans up. Rohan's Corner, Super Transformers guy. Rohan's Corner, poking Hasbro in the eye. Thank you, my friends. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Rohan's Corner. And it feels like months. No, it feels like 4 million years have passed since the last episode I've done where I've actually got a chance to talk to you, or I've actually got a chance to record something. So apologies for that. Hopefully it's a good one. I've been thinking about several ideas. I really want to do an episode on Beast Machines. I wanted to do an episode for absolutely forever. And with Rise of the Beasts out there at the moment and everybody going wild for the Beast Wars, we don't often talk about it, the ugly child in the room, which is Beast Machines. But there are some great things about it. And hopefully you guys all want to see an episode on it. So if you do, hit like in the comments, let us know your thoughts. I would love to hear if you'd like to see me do a review on Beast Machines as a series. Anyway, for this week, I thought I'd take us back into history. For those of you who know the Transformers history quite well, you know that Transformers originated from Diaclone in Japan.
Diaclone レスキュー隊員。彼らの乗る車はロボットに代わり救助に活躍する。メカが光るダイアクロンカーロボット。
And some representatives of Hasbro went out to Japan in the early 80s, picked up the property license rights, brought it to the Western world, and created the Transformers brand, created the Transformers characters and all the backstories and all the lore and the cartoon series to sell the toys alongside with the comics. However, did you know that there is actually another unknown brand that was out there in the 80s of transforming robots that made it to the Western world and was not as well received as Transformers, but became something that we all know and love today, which is why I'm wearing my Cycle t-shirt today. And it is none other than Robo Machines, or for those of us here in Europe, Machine Robo, or for those of you in the US, Machine Men. And this series, created by Bandai, which had a Japanese cartoon series, was a standalone toy line of figures that were available in the rest of the world, but not backed up by any media. No comics, no TV series, no other memorabilia, just some toys on the shelves. And they didn't do particularly well originally, and they realized this quite quickly, and they started building cheaper toys because the expensive, large toys that were on the shelves not moving anywhere weren't helping, so they got an entry-level price point at $3 for what eventually became the standard Gobots figures out there that all of us love and cherish to this day. But there's a bit of a misdemeanor. There's not a lot of Gobots going on in the world today. Obviously, aside from the IDW, I think it was, comic book series, which had a short run of Gobots character episodes, and also an appearance of Cycle in the Marvel Universe recently out of nowhere, there isn't pretty much any other Gobots stuff going on. There was obviously the Crasher toy in the Legacy line, not really that much of a lookalike towards Crasher, but had the color scheme and sort of had a face that sort of went as a homage to her. But anyway, the point is that when the Gobots were created by Bandai, it was as a result of something that happened with Transformers, actually. As I mentioned, Transformers picked up from Diaclone, brought over to the US, Hasbro and Takara came together, created this brand, and created the storyline and the ethos and everything else that we love today. Actually, in 1982, the Machine Robo series out in Japan was doing well enough on its own. When it was brought over to the US, just like Transformers was, actually before Transformers was, it was done so by Bandai, and they teamed up with Tonka, and they went to distribute the series, and they called it Gobots. And when they did so, they created their cartoon series, they created all the other memorabilia, it spun out into loads and loads of diverse lines and product sets, which are just, you can go and watch the basics, or you can go and watch Toy Galaxy's history of Transformers versus Gobots. They're great episodes, both of those, and they'll tell you the history of it. But the key point was that Gobots ended up coming out second best to Transformers. It died off after a couple of years. The Rock Lords did not help them. Let's be honest. Who wants a transforming rock? There are different concepts in the fact that Gobots are actually cyborgs, whereas Transformers are actually robots, etc., etc. Gobots have human brains, etc., etc. Anyway, let's not get into all of that. The reason why I wanted to talk to you about Machine Robo, or Robo Machine, today is because this week I managed to pick up some Action Toys Robo Machine figures, which came out from around 2015 onwards. You see them here displayed on my Teletran 1 set. People like this Missile Robo, or, as you know, if you're a Gobots fan like me, the orange toy version of Blaster, as he was known in the Gobots series, with his missile launchers and missiles here, massive missiles, turning into a missile tank. We have Spacey, the space shuttle, very cool little space shuttle there. Again, these are supposed to be sort of masterpiece class figures, although they've not got much die cast in them, and they aren't, as you can see, masterpiece scale. However, they do have much more complex transformations than the original Gobots did. Blockhead here turning into a cement mixer. What a great figure. He has some die cast here in his drum, but plastic all the way around. Otherwise, we have the iconic Buggyman, one of Rudy's favorite characters. Great little figure this. I believe he's got this toy as well. A great color scheme to boot, with some real detail in there. You've got a steering wheel, some controls, obviously the seats for the buggies, the exhaust pipes, and the actual lights on the back there painted in, as well as on the front, and the wheels all obviously. We have Fightor over here, or as he's known as Blue Jet in the Robo Machine line. I don't know why. These characters all obviously originally came from the Revenge of Chronos Robo Machines line, and have then been adapted into Gobots lore, and for some reason he comes with swords. I much preferred the Gobots character of Fightor, sort of the shockwave of the series, if you like. We have Tank over here. Again, some differences between this and the Gobots iteration. In Gobots, he was a much darker blue, a much more squat tank, much longer as well. This is a very sort of tight-packed vehicle mode for him. Still a cool figure with his Cylon-type fusion cannon there, which is very cool. And then right at the end here, we have Screwhead, or Drill Bit, which is obviously a drill, like in some of the Transformers series where they're mining bots, either in Beast Machines or in Transformers Prime, as we saw with the drills, looking for Energon. These are pretty cool. And the figures themselves, when they came out, were between sort of 45, 50 pounds. Kapow sold a lot of these, still have some of them in stock, I believe, and some of them got discounted. I did buy the Bike Robo, the cycle version in this class, and I didn't like it. The face sculpt was not the same, the head, the colour of the legs was wrong. The old mode was alright, but the robot mode was not good. So I sold it off, and I've got these now. I also have the KFC Toys Cycle, which is obviously masterpiece scale, much larger, doesn't really scale in with these guys. Here's hoping for some 3P companies to come along and do a full Gobot line, cartoon accurate. Doesn't have to be masterpiece. I don't collect masterpiece. Legends will do, or even Hasbro scale would be fine. But I'd love to see someone putting some emphasis into these, because, like it or not, Robo Machines and Gobots are part of the Transformers universe. Bandai lost the rights to the distribution. Tonka was acquired by Hasbro in 1991. Yes, there are some sort of legality issues between Bandai, Hanna-Barbera, who did the cartoon series, and Hasbro, which are preventing any of the parties from actually recreating those figures. But 3P, come on, you can do it. Anywho, I thought I'd just show those off to you this week, share them with you. Hope you enjoyed them. something a little bit different. Still transforming robots. Don't shoot me all at once. Don't pelt those tomatoes. Anywho, hope you've enjoyed. Back to the studio.
Transformers, Rohans in disguise.